Hey, we're about to start recording. Where's Kaden?
I don't know where he is. Have you tried calling him?
No. Let's try.
Ugh. Wait. I have an idea. Kaden! 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 Oh, there he is.
It's showtime.
Hey, all geeks, gamers, and everything in between. My name's Bailey.
I'm McKenna,
And I'm Kaden, and welcome to the Hyperfixnation podcast.
where we talk movies, video games, and TV.
So join us and let's get into it.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Should we disclose that we're recording this early? So, like, if a national tragedy
Possibly.
happens, yeah. So if a national tragedy happens between last episode and this one, we don't know. Did something happen? Did the
Yes.
Queen die? I don't know yet, but I will know by then, and I'll be absolutely
Thrilled.
thrilled. Don't tell England.
Yeah.
But
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sorry guys. This episode is going to be recorded a little bit early because I'm moving. Hooah!
Yeah.
Crazy
Whoa,
stuff, crazy
wild.
stuff.
Just as
Yeah,
long
exactly.
as nothing bad happens in the world that causes podcasts to be eliminated.
Let's
am I
hope
right?
no nuclear bombs go off or anything.
It doesn't
Goodness.
seem like anything's gonna happen. The only bad thing that
hopefully.
could happen is Warner Brothers eliminating more shows.
No.
Oh, yep.
Oh, some news from today. Dragon Ball Superhero, the new Dragon Ball movie, broke a 25-year-long record for biggest opening for an anime movie of all time, beating the Pokemon movie, the original Pokemon movie.
Whoa.
Wait, really? I thought Demon Slayer beat it a few years ago.
No, that's not for opening. That's currently the highest grossing anime movie.
Oh, okay.
Only because that was in 2020 and there was nothing else. I think Dragon Ball is going to become the highest grossing.
I honestly kind of doubt it, though.
I mean, if it already made $4 million in 2 days, I think it's got some legs.
I feel like the Demon Slayer movie made a lot of money when it came out. I mean, it beat Spirited
Yeah.
Away for
But-
biggest anime movie, or at least biggest Japan release when it came out, I believe.
Hear me out on this one, right? Hear me out. Demon Slayer can eat my ass.
Yeah, I suppose.
Why?
Kaden doesn't like Demon Slayer.
You don't like Demon Slayer?
Nah, it looks stupid.
Oh, I like it.
I don't like things that are popular.
It's like the one anime I'll watch.
Honestly, I don't set an alarm in the morning. I am just awoken by the need to be a hater. Top Gun 2 dethroned Avengers Infinity War on the top. It's in 6th place now.
Yeah, McGregor was right, apparently.
He was, yeah. That just proves how many dads there are and how much free time they really have. McKenna, is there a movie that movie in air quotes that perhaps released last night that is like your most anticipated movie of the year?
Yep. So, last night, everyone,
Last night, as of when we recorded this, by the way. Sorry, continue.
a very, very special YouTube video released. The Shadow the Hedgehog fan dub came out. I have been waiting for this for months. So for those who don't know the fan dubs, pretty much it's a group of silly YouTubers who come together and they take clips of the games, like the cutscenes, and then they fan dub it, they dub over it in real time. So it's all improv and it's all just amazing. It's pure. I love it so much. They've done most of the Sonic games, Until Dawn, Resident Evil, Sly Cooper.
There's a Resident Evil one?
Yeah, Resident Evil
I didn't know
2.
that. I gotta watch that.
But anyways, yeah, so that came out last night. I was really excited and it's great. I've watched it. I watched it 5 times already.
Hold on. 5 times?
Yeah, I have.
How long is it?
It's an hour.
Okay, so I was worried that it was one of the like 2.5 hour ones.
No.
So that you've just been doing that all day.
If you guys don't know where to watch these, it's on Snapcube's channel. Yeah, the voice of Sonic. By the way, when Okay, her voice is like Sonic for me now, in a way. Like,
It's just like what you associate with Sonic.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
like
just
how,
hear her voice.
Yeah, for other Dragon Ball fans, like, and myself included, there's the Abridged, which is Dragon Ball Abridged, which is basically the real-time fan dub before the real-time fan dub, where it's these people that, like, voice over Dragon Ball and make funny jokes. And all the voices are pretty accurate, but Goku's is a lot different. So for me personally, and for some other people out there, I'm sure they hear the voice of abridged Goku instead of actual Goku. It's very similar to you as Sonic, yeah.
Well, most of the time you like hear these people trying to impersonate Jason Griffith or like Roger Craig Smith and stuff. But, like, hers, it's, like, a completely different take that totally matches the character for me. And I'm like, that's
very
him.
true. Yeah.
So is she your favorite Sonic voice actor?
Yeah.
When thinking of Eggman, I can only think of the fandom voice
Pissing
actor.
on the moon?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Either that or Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's tough because they're both so perfect
They
for
are.
Eggman. You know who I think of when I think of Eggman? I think of the YouTube poops of, like, classic Eggman. The, like, snooping as usual, I see. That guy.
Yeah.
The win the race. Promotion. That guy.
The one from the old is that the one from the old cartoon? Yeah.
Yes.
I love that old cartoon.
They should put him in Fortnite.
Well, speaking of
Adaptations.
video game adaptations, dubs and everything, we actually did a little thing for ourselves today where we did our top 3 best video game adaptation movies and our bottom 3 video game adaptation movies.
And TV shows.
Yes.
And TV shows.
And TV shows? Okay.
Yes.
Is there many video game TV shows? Am I crazy?
There's a fair amount.
Yeah, there's 2 that I have.
There's at least one. Sonic Underground!
Alright, so who would like to share their video game adaptations first?
I think what we should do is we should all go around and say our bottom, like our
Bottoms first.
place number 3 for bottom.
Okay.
And then we'll all go around and say number 2. But
Alright,
yeah.
but really, I have honorable mentions for like the
Ooh,
top
honorable
3
mentions.
and also
Yeah.
the bottom 3.
Let's
hear those.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, so bottom honorable mentions, like, they're bad, but I don't think, like, they're the worst 3, you know?
Yeah.
First off, Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter, I didn't see either. It just looked really boring. There were no palisman cats.
Yeah, where's the cat you can dress up as Mega Man? Like, that's the best. That's why I would play Monster Hunter. If I wasn't such a scrub who couldn't play Monster Hunter.
Yeah, that's why it's not quite the worst because it was still enjoyable. Like, some of the fighting stuff was enjoyable. Alright, second off, all the sequels to the Resident Evil, like, the OG Resident Evil sequels, at the point where she gets psychic powers and stuff and can, like, use telekinesis, it gets off the wall.
I forget that's
I'm sorry. What? Is that oh my god, I need to watch those.
And then my last honorable mention is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
That one's, yeah.
I just changed my list as I was sitting here, just thinking about it, because I thought of one that is a video game movie that is worse. So the one I just took off my list is The Prince of Persia, which was bad, because...
With Jake Gyllenhaal.
It has is it Jake Gyllenhaal?
It is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, it is. Playing a character who is not white.
Oh, yeah.
Or should not be. That's just a problem I have with it. The only good part of that movie were the Lego sets.
I like the video game that came out the same year called Prince of Persia. That was fun.
Yeah. Rampage, I think I would say honorable mention for the bottom.
I agree.
I love the Rampage games. They're, like, very special to me.
But it has Big Monkey. Big Monkey who flips off Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
What?
So these ones I haven't seen, but I've watched video, like, you know, the YouTube videos where people will watch a movie and talk about it, right? Both of the Hitman movies look just abhorrent.
Yeah.
The first one I've heard is better. Of course, I can't say from experience. And recently getting really into the Hitman franchise, they could make a good movie out of it. They just won't. They've tried twice. They even got Timothy Olyphant to be in it, in one of them, who is a gorgeous man, but they just can't get it right. They just can't get Hitman right. So those are my honorable mentions for the bottom.
I don't have any honorable mentions, but I do have one that we can all agree is quite possibly the most middle of the road. That being Uncharted.
I did not see Uncharted.
I also haven't seen Uncharted.
It is extremely As someone who does not like Mark Wahlberg or anything that he's in, really, it's not. I don't like that. Plus Tom Holland as
Nathan Drake.
As Nathan Drake is not. It's basically just Spider-Man goes on a Indiana Jones adventure, basically.
So McKenna, tell us number 3 of your bottom 3.
My number 3 is Tomb Raider 2018.
Oh, I forgot there
okay.
was one of those.
Wait, so is number
first
3?
of all,
I have a question. Is number 3 the
number
best
1
of the
is the
bottom
worst.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
no, Bailey.
Yeah, number 3 is the best of the bottom
You messed
3.
up our whole jam.
You were
Anyways.
jamming.
Yeah, I was really
bad.
into
You were
this. and
literally
you totally
jamming.
talked over me.
Dude.
We gotta get you out of here. Bailey, just kidding.
Not yet.
Not yet. Anyways, so I chose not Laura Croft. I chose Tomb Raider 2018 because I actually am kind of a fan of the Laura Croft Tomb Raiders with Angelina Jolie. And then when
Really?
I was little, I used to play the games and stuff, like the older ones.
Nice. Yeah.
So I liked it. And then this one, I was like, I don't like this. I remember walking out of the theater and I was little and being like, I don't like it. This is not fun.
I don't like it.
I think the thing with the 2018 Tomb Raider is it's more based on the remakes of Tomb Raider, like the revitalization of the series, which is completely different from the originals. Like, that'd be like expecting a Resident Evil 1 movie walking out of a Resident Evil 7 movie, you know?
Yeah.
I guess I should mention something that when the first remake, like Tomb Raider game, since I was a fan, yet
Yeah.
I was little, the remake is really bloody. They have, like, when you die, it shows you, like, the death of what happens to her, pretty much. I remember very vividly playing, and, like, a waterfall, you, like, go down a waterfall, and, like, there's, like, wooden spikes you have to, like, get out of the way of, and every single time, because it's really hard, and every single time it'd be a wooden spike going up her head, and her struggling to get off and then die. I was young,
Yeah.
so maybe that's why I don't like this film, too, is because it also is from the remakes, but don't worry, guys, I am going to play the remakes again, and, you know, freshen up, but yeah. All right, Kaden, your number 3.
Okay, me next. Number 3, Angry Birds.
Okay, I'm glad it's in the
I've never
bottom.
seen that.
It's just a bad film.
Yep.
It is the pinnacle of made-for-kid animation, right? Like,
Yeah, I would agree. Air quotes on made for kid animation, by the way.
yeah. I forget audio only, but like made-for-kid animation. Because that's like... Because you think of other ones, and they don't, like, have a whole scene of a bird pissing. Like, Boss Baby doesn't even do that.
My number 3, this one's gonna be a very controversial pick. So to be fair, I have not seen too many video game adaptations. Just, like, I'd probably seen, like, 7 or 8. So,
You're gonna say Sonic.
yes. No, I'm not gonna say Sonic. I'm gonna say Mortal Kombat 2021.
That's not even on my list of best. That's in my honorable mentions for best,
Yeah,
but it's not in my best.
Kaden, me and you the same. Legit.
Same person. Let's
Same
go.
person.
But, like, I want to hear what you don't like about it, right?
So I love the Mortal Kombat franchise, of course.
Yeah.
And then, is this movie better than, like, it's leagues better than my other 2 video game adaptation movies. But, I don't know, it's just kind of a bit boring. The only parts that I like are, like, the last 30 minutes or so when the actual fighting starts. The actual fighting and the fatalities, those are cool. But other than that, the movie's just very kind of plain.
Yeah. I want to explain why I enjoy it. I think it definitely has flaws, which is why it's not in my top 3. Like, I don't like the introduction of Cole. There are so many characters that they could just actually introduce. They could have eliminated that part and made it Johnny Cage's kid, Cassie Cage. That would have been a good storyline. I think the movie did a really good job of capturing Mortal Kombat. I think if they do get a sequel, it will be leagues better than it, because then they can actually do the tournament. Like, I was waiting the whole movie. I was like, this is Mortal Kombat. They should have done the tournament for the first movie. But they capture the characters so well, and every actor they picked for every character from the games is perfect. Like,
Yeah. I guess
across
that's
the
fair.
board, every single one.
Yeah, I suppose that's a fair point.
Number 2, Assassin's Creed. So when I was younger, I heard that they're making an Assassin's Creed movie, or like it was coming out, and I was super excited. I was like, no way, I like that game. I can't wait to see it on the real screen with a Michael. Oh, great. And I went in and I came out and I was like, that sucked. That was nothing like the video game.
I like learning what video games you played as a kid, McKenna. It's very funny.
I know, right?
like you played like the original Tomb Raider, like the new Tomb Raider as a kid, and Assassin's Creed, and then now, and then that compared to now, who's like the biggest Sonic fan. I just think it's very funny.
Back then, I also played those games too. That was
fair.
really good. Kaden, what's your number 2?
Oh, my number 2? Mm-hmm. I saw this movie in theaters. I saw Pixels as a child.
Oh no!
I don't know if this counts as a full video game movie. Pixels is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. There is not a single joke in Pixels that is funny. It's funny because they actually had the nuts to put it into a film and send it out to theaters like Olaf from Frozen Man, Josh Gad having sex with Q*bert. That's a real thing that happens.
I forget
in a movie.
In the movie.
And there's scenes where you can tell that they like. So I believe the story is there was a short film on YouTube that inspired the film of video game characters invading like aliens, and it was just these passionate animators that like animated stuff happening, and you can tell where that was the idea and where Grown Ups 3 was the idea.
All right, Bailey, yours next.
My number 2, is it called Super Mario Brothers? I don't even remember. It's the Mario
The one with John Leguizamo.
Yeah. It's so bad.
Oh man.
It's quite possibly, like, I love the Mario games.
That's
I
your
played them as a
second?
kid. Yeah, that's my number 2. It sucks.
Oh man.
Quite possibly the biggest, like, flop of a movie off of such a good. I love the Mario games, and then the way that they turn, they just have Bowser be just a guy. They have Yoshi. I think Yoshi's just a dinosaur, which like funny kind of, but like in a bad way. And then the designs of the Goombas, they're terrifying. The Goombas are quite possibly nightmare fuel.
The funny thing is that, like, the video games are supposed to be based off of this movie. Like, that was their whole idea.
No, yeah.
Who
I
does that?
refuse.
All right, McKenna, number 1 worst video game movie.
This thing has caused me emotional damage. It has made me go through the 5 stages of grief. It is not a movie. It is a TV show. And its name is Resident Evil.
Oh no! Yep, there it is.
No.
This show has messed me up. Because originally I was like, wow, this is a really cool idea. A sequel to the video games. But they turned one of the best villains in video game history into a father. A loving father for his...
Which Wesker would never be. If you know anything about Wesker, that's like the last thing Wesker is.
And it's not even Wesker. There's multiple Weskers, and they all die. I feel like every single Resident Evil thing is just zombies. It's a zombie apocalypse. Wowza. And this one just took it to above and beyond with that idea. It's
Really?
awful.
Yeah. McKenna, we feel for your loss.
I wish I could have done this after my number 1 best, because after this you'll probably know what my number 1 best is. Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, is an affront to me. It is an affront to the inventor of cinema, the inventor of the internet, and it is an affront to God. It is so bad. It is so bad. And Wreck-It Ralph 1 is one of my favorite movies of all time. Which, spoilers, it's definitely my number one video game movie. Wreck-It Ralph 2 takes every single little thing about every character, every plot point, everything amazing about Wreck-It Ralph 1, and crushes it in its palm and blows it in my face. It turns it into a genre of film I like to call Roger Rabbit but bad, where it's the look at all this shit we own and some shit we don't even own, but a movie. So some examples: Ready Player One, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie from this year, Space Jam 2, A New LeBron. It's so bad. Oh.
I think another thing that makes that movie so bad is that they completely ruined the relationship with Ralph and whatever her name is.
And Vanellope.
Yeah.
They wrote a movie about the internet and said, how do we make this? And then they said, I don't know, put Wreck-It Ralph in it.
Okay, Bailey. It's your turn to grieve.
You already touched on it a little bit. My number one least favorite video game adaptation is Angry Birds.
Really? Number one!
I remember being so excited for an Angry Birds movie. I had even played all the games leading up to it and stuff like that, because I loved Angry Birds. I even had a video game of it on my 3DS. I loved Angry Birds.
You were one of those?
Quite a bit. And then this movie not only was just absolutely terrible, it has also ruined the Angry Birds franchise just for the rest of time, I believe. Because after that, they came out with, like, these spin-offs that have the new ugly designs of them as little blocky characters and stuff like that. And it's just... it just ruined one of my favorite things as a kid. And it's so bad. And then, the eagle pissing in the water scene is also just... I remember watching that and sitting in, like, complete horror and just being, like... terrified of the entire movie.
I feel like we've all felt pain here with something we really love.
It feels like we're all talking about trauma, but with movies.
Yeah.
Each 3 of these adaptations have given us trauma. My top 3, I don't really have any...
We need to do honorable mentions.
I don't have any honorable mentions, so you go with honorable mentions first, Kaden.
Mortal Kombat 2021, I think, is an honorable mention. And I hate to be that guy as well, but I think Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, the movie from last year, is also an honorable mention for the top. I think you can tell at least that they've played the game. And that's what matters, right? Because with most of these, I don't think they played a second of Angry Birds. Nope. Like, I don't think they played anything. Did not. Like, but with Welcome to Raccoon City, they definitely... know and appreciate Resident Evil. You have any honorable mentions for top, McKenna?
Resident Evil Raccoon City. Welcome to Raccoon City.
But you honorable mentioned it for the bottom.
I have a love-hate relationship with this movie. I really do. Because just like you, I love the campiness of it. I love how it really does reach into that ridiculous Resident Evil vibe.
Punching boulders and...
But then I also I hate it at the same time because I'm like, why did they make it so Chris and Claire hate each other? I like all this stuff that they actually took from the games and like all that fun stuff. I don't like the original stuff of it. So it's kind of like half and half for me. Continuing on with my honorable mentions. Lara Croft's Tomb Raider, the first one. The first OG Resident Evil. And that's all.
Bailey, number 3 on your
on my top list. Detective Pikachu.
I'm gonna cut you off real fast because that's also my number 3.
Yeah.
So we can just both talk about it.
Can I talk too?
So
because it's my number 3.
Yeah, is it? Okay. Yeah. So we all are on the same page. We all enjoy Detective Pikachu about the same amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not amazing, but like it's a really like original kind of not original. It's like a nice, fun romp in the Pokemon world.
Yeah. It's fun. They make Pokemon fans happy and have a good story and good jokes. that's something that a lot of video game movies can't get, is good jokes.
I've never played a Pokemon game before, but I liked this one. I quite enjoyed it. It was fun. I liked the way they looked. It was cute. It was enjoyable.
It shows something that I think a lot of other video game movies fail to understand, which is that
It's okay to be goofy.
It's okay to be goofy, one, and it's also okay to not just do like the story everybody knows, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to like do that, but you can still like keep the spirit of it, and that's all you really need is to make people who haven't played the games enjoy it. So I guess it's back to Bailey for number 2.
Can I save my number 2 because I think it's gonna be somebody's number 1.
So it's Sonic. It's Sonic 1.
No, it's Sonic 2.
Sonic 2 is my number 2 as well.
Yeah, it's Sonic 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I like it a lot. It's really good.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is also my number 2.
Yeah, like, I haven't even played too many Sonic games. I've only played, I think, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic and the Black Knight, and I've played a few of the classic ones. And that's it. That's all that I've played. Oh,
Yeah.
McKenna's fighting me.
McKenna just punched the camera a couple times. So, McKenna, what's your number 2?
My number 2, I think the Cuphead TV show.
That's a really good choice, because I didn't even think of that. Because it lends itself almost so like too well to TV show that I forgot it was even based on the game.
Yeah.
Like it works so well.
It does a great job as an adaptation.
Yeah, that's a really good choice. I respect that. I definitely expected something a lot more Sonic-y, since there's 2 Sonic movies. I expected them to be your number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, same here. Okay, my number 1, I'm either gonna get a lot of hate for this or just a lot of blank faces, because my number 1 is Arcane, the League of Legends TV show on Netflix, which, okay, hold this. I have not played a single second of League of Legends, and I never ever will. I think the main reason I really like it is just because I'm a super big fan of stylistic animation, and that is the absolute thesis of this TV show is stylistic animation, which is just, I just love it. Yeah. The story's also really good. Like, it manages to take these characters from League of Legends who, like, anybody aside from League of Legends fans do not know, and it makes a really interesting story. If I had to say one bad thing about it, it's that it has Imagine Dragons.
All right, Kaden, your top 1. We all know it.
It's Wreck-It Ralph 1. It's Wreck-It Ralph 1.
Yeah.
In terms of movies that became, like, part of me and, like, who I am, Wreck-It Ralph is, like, on that list. Wreck-It Ralph 1 is just so good. It has amazing characters, wonderful humor, and it stands up even to this day. I've cosplayed as Ralph. There was, like, a dark period between Wreck-It Ralph and Moana where nothing was good, and we are in an even darker era now where everything Disney shits out is awful.
I disagree with that, but yes, Wreck-It Ralph is really good.
All right, McKenna, what's your number 1?
My number 1. Oh, guys,
Yeah.
I don't even think you know what it is.
Never. I could never guess.
Wonder what it could be.
It is not only 1, not only 2,
Sonic.
but 3, hopefully. And maybe a TV show. The Sonic Cinematic Universe.
Okay, fair enough. You put them all at number 1. Okay. Yeah, I was like, why wasn't Sonic 1 or 2 number 2? That's odd.
It's because it would take up the entire list.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that's
it
fair.
would. What makes it so great is that, first off, just the whole drama with the first, I don't even know what to call it, ugly Sonic, if you will. Them making it so that he looked better, just people going to see it, like, that was such a fun time on the internet. I just love that. But they also just did a great job. But then the second movie came out, and it not only took things from the first movie and expanded on it, it completely added stuff from the video games too. Like, there's so many references in it, and I love it. It just reminds me of this video game and this
one.
one.
Because, like, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 doesn't have very many video game references.
Not really.
Like, but Sonic 2, on the other hand, is... Like, that's why I put Sonic 2 on my list, like my top 3, but not Sonic 1. Because I think Sonic 2 is not only a better movie, but it's also a lot more Sonic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It feels like a Sonic movie. And, oh man, I can't imagine how excited you are for Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
My goodness. Guys, I am so excited.
I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with you in theaters, Kenna, and I don't think I've ever seen you get that excited during a movie. I don't even think you got that excited during Spider-Man No Way Home. I wasn't there, obviously.
I don't know. I feel like it was pretty.
I imagine you got excited, but you got pretty excited for Shadow. I mean, like,
I would like to just ask one question for y'all just before.
Yes.
I would
Yeah,
like
let's
to
hear
know
it.
what you guys think about the future of video game adaptations, because personally, I think we're in a really good time.
I agree.
I just think that you can't really...
Except for Resident Evil.
Yeah, you just can't get your hopes up too much for anything, because my hopes were really up for the Resident Evil TV show.
That's
Womp womp.
that's fair.
But yeah, like, like, there's a lot of games that should become movies and a lot of games that shouldn't. And I think the ones that are becoming movies are the ones that shouldn't. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm excited for the possibility of a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. The news recently that the Henson workshop was making the animatronics is huge.
Fair.
That's awesome.
I think that we're looking up, guys,
You think?
and I think we'll be okay. I think right now we've gone through a rough patch, but I think the mainstream idea of like video games and stuff has gotten to a point where it's like more acceptable than it was like a couple years ago. So I feel like it is, with more people playing them and stuff, we actually will
It's like how
better
people didn't think there could be good comic book adaptations of movies.
Weekly movie time. This week was my choice. My choice was Beetlejuice because it wasn't announced. It was leaked that Beetlejuice is being added to the game Multiverses, and I really enjoy that game. And I was like, I haven't watched that movie in a while. I should watch it. I should watch it for the podcast. And it's also just a fun movie to talk about. So I say we do the thing where everyone has to give a synopsis of the film. Synopsis. Bailey, why don't you give the opening synopsis?
Okay, fine. I love how this has become a recurring joke, by the way. I'd say
Yeah, it's going forever.
Yep. My synopsis of the film is...
You said it wrong.
I did. I know.
Synopsis.
I know. My plot summary of the film is there's a married couple, the Maitlands, of course, who are very happy. They live in a pretty quiet town and stuff. They're basically that. They accidentally get in an accident, and spoilers, they die. And then they're trapped in their house. People come and they have bought in their house, but they're like the Maitland's least favorite people possibly ever, just because they're complete opposites. Then a demon comes along, is like, I'll help you guys. But he's, an evil demon, because it's Beetlejuice. And lots of shenanigans happen from there.
Fair enough. That's a good synopsis. McKenna, your turn.
There's a girl who can see them, and...
All right. So yeah, this movie's real good. It's not like a perfect movie by any means, but I really enjoy this movie. I enjoy the shining star of this is the performances by Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, obviously, and honestly, the mom of the people that come into the house, the lady
one from Home Alone.
Yeah, the mom from Home Alone.
Speaking of, do you know she plays Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas?
Really?
I knew that.
Yeah. So not only does she play Sally, but the guy, the like interior decorator that comes in with like the bolo tie on, like the bigger guy, he plays the mayor in Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's amazing.
Right? Sometimes when I go through Letterboxd deep dives, I just find things, and it's like, whoa.
May I just say I really love... Is it Othello? Is that what his name is? I just love that character.
Otho, I think?
Yeah, he's so fun.
So, one thing I noticed is, like, this... Michael Keaton feels very Jim Carrey or very Robin Williams.
He does.
In this, the kind of...
Yes.
But I looked it up, and the only major Robin Williams movie before this was Good Morning Vietnam. But I didn't think about Jim Carrey. I should have looked at that and seen if Jim Carrey did anything before this.
Probably, I bet. It's very funny considering, like, I never imagined Michael Keaton as a comedic actor, and yet he does comedy really well in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's almost always a
pretty funny in
serious
Morbius,
actor.
too.
No. He's a really funny actor in this
Morbius.
movie, and I didn't expect it.
The other actor I want to give props to is Winona Ryder. She has never been bad in any movie.
I don't think so either.
She
Yeah,
always knocks
She's
it out of the
great.
park.
True.
Any movie, any show, she's just great. She's
great.
Also, is she a kid actor in
And,
this
I-
one, or is she just barely over kid age?
I mean, she was in Heathers a year after, so I think
Oh.
she was an adult.
Probably.
I don't know. McKenna, this is something you'll want to talk about. The score. Do you know who did the score?
Danny Elfman. Yep. And I might mention that while I was playing the music, I was like, wait, Danny Elfman, I totally forgot he
Yeah?
did this music. Because you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of The Breakfast Machine.
I love that. Oh man, it's such a goofy ass song. I love The Breakfast Machine.
But yeah, Danny Elfman. He also
Like,
did Spider-Man.
You know, now that you mention it, the entire movie score does feel like The Breakfast Machine, but
Yeah.
extended.
It does.
Which is funny, because
yeah.
that's also a Tim Burton movie, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It was
Uh-huh.
actually Tim Burton's first movie, and this was his second.
Really?
So,
Crazy.
yeah. Tim Burton
cool.
is an interesting bloke.
Very true.
I don't like all his movies. And
Yes.
it's crazy to me how different the movies can be, from movie to movie, how just wildly different they
I can
be.
definitely say watching this made me want to watch Edward Scissorhands, which I think he did, right?
I've never seen Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
That's one I need to watch.
Oh,
Um,
okay, those two have very similar feelings, a lot with mainly with the coloring for me of just the bright
and
outside
a darker
world.
inside sort of deal.
Yeah, and then the darker
Yeah.
inside. Kind of the same thing with Edward's house and then the town area
Yeah.
being all bright.
So I told a couple people before I decided that this was going to be the movie that I was doing this as the movie, and they're like, "Oh, you should have waited till Halloween." And I was like, "It's not really a Halloween movie. Nothing super scary in it." But then Alec Baldwin shows up.
Oh,
Jump scare. I forgot he was in
I
this.
didn't know.
And then I was like, "Oh God, Alec Baldwin's here." One of my notes I had about Michael Keaton in this movie is you can tell when an actor is doing a movie because they were paid to, and when they're doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And you could tell that not only Michael Keaton, but every
Everyone in
character
this.
in this movie was just having fun, especially Keaton.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He probably didn't have to play it up this hammy, but there's some scenes that I'm like, this is great. When a movie can be so perfect but not feel improvised, it's great. I actually ended up watching this movie twice within the span of 12 hours.
nice.
Because I watched it at work, and then one of the guys, I work at a house with people in it. One of the guys at work was like, "So what did you do last night to pass the time?" I was like, "Oh, I watched Beetlejuice." He's like, "That's a good movie. I should watch that." So then after breakfast, he sat down and he watched it, and I was in the room. So I basically watched Beetlejuice twice in one day,
Nice.
one night even. So that was pretty funny.
For those who don't know, there's a musical adaptation of this, which even before I had seen the movie,
okay.
I really liked the musical adaptation. I honestly prefer the musical adaptation to this. They're both great. They're
Really?
both great. I just think,
Okay.
personally, I think the story is a bit better just because it focuses more on Beetlejuice a little bit,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so I had never listened to the musical at all. I had never interacted with it at all until after I watched it for this. Then I decided to go through and listen to the soundtrack. It's fine. It does use Beetlejuice a lot more. But here's the thing. You don't need more of him, right? It's very similar to a movie that is very dissimilar to this movie, which is Hellraiser, right? Everybody knows Pinhead. Everybody loves Pinhead. But he's only in the movie for about 30 minutes. You don't need him that long. There's a whole other story floating around, and then it's last resort, bring in the iconic character that will be iconic for years beyond this movie
Yeah.
itself, right? You don't need too much because it's just the right amount, and it makes you fall in love
Okay,
with the
but
character.
if I may...
And I mean...
If I may,
Yeah, if you-
the musical,
you may.
the musical has Alex Brightman, who's just the best in everything. Because he also, funny thing
Legend.
is, considering last week we talked about this, he also did School of Rock, where he was Dewey,
Yeah,
which is the Jack Black
I
character.
was
for
in
those who
New
don't
York when that happened,
Really?
and I could have gone and seen
should
it, but
have.
I didn't, and I regret
know. I just
it.
love
But yeah.
Alex Brightman does a really good job as Beetlejuice in the musical, and Michael Keaton. They're both the best parts of the film.
I would kill to see Michael Keaton play Beetlejuice in the musical. Like, just one night, record it. I would give anything. Could you imagine how cool that would be? Maybe.
Hopefully.
Probably. He does Shakespeare. I mean, I do Shakespeare, and I can't sing worth a damn, but yeah.
I will
Shakespeare,
say,
and that means you can sing.
I'm very excited for the eventual. I hope this eventually gets made a movie version of the musical version. I hope it gets made. Kind of hope it does. Kind of hope it doesn't. But if it does, if they cast anybody else aside from Alex Brightman, I will not be watching.
McKenna, do you have any thoughts?
Dude, not really. Man, bro, it's Beetlejuice, you know? Like, what's up with him? I don't know. Say his name 3 times, he comes up. Actually, I will say something.
Yes.
This film, when I was younger, made me not so scared of, ghosts,
Really?
I guess, and dead people.
Yeah.
Oh, also another thing is that this film talks a lot about suicide, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Not a lot, but in the moments it happens, it's like, whoa!
I know,
Really?
I'm like, whoa.
Okay.
You're talking about suicide? Oh,
Okay.
Wait, hold on. The main girl wants to commit suicide to be with her friends? Hold on, wait a second.
She says that?
It's like, oh my god.
She says, to be with... Yeah, I guess that's right.
She legit is writing a letter.
Yeah. And then, which is funny because then the next year she was in Heathers, which is also very suicide focused, and also has a musical adaptation.
Yeah. I will say one thing this film, as well as most Tim Burton stuff, is good at, is dark comedy.
Yeah.
I agree.
I
think my favorite bit of, lesser known dark comedy in this film is the main helper lady, the old lady who has a thing in her throat, and every time she smokes, smoke comes out of the little hole in her throat, which is just really cool.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. Oh, the whole world of the dead is so creative.
It is.
I would watch
so
a spin-off
interesting.
just of people checking in and just going through all that, because there were so many practical effects. Some of the practical effects in this movie were better than in any horror movie.
Yeah.
There is just something. So I'm like, damn,
True.
this is great. It looks good, and you don't expect it to, especially since this was his second movie ever to get the funding to do that. But it looks great, and the fact that you can tell it's practical is awesome. Because then it makes it just that little bit more campy. That's really fun.
Yeah. Practical effects are always great.
Yeah, insane.
I love the practical effects.
It was great. I liked the football team. That was a funny joke.
I liked it when they showed up at the end again.
When they were dancing on the stairs.
Math
Well,
test. Yeah.
We can talk about how this
That's
is the
cute.
best use of a song in a movie with Heyo.
I wanted to bring that up because I was going to bring this sort of topic up when I eventually made everyone watch Baby Driver. But this does have one of the most iconic uses of an existing song in it. Nobody thinks of Deo or Jump in the Line and doesn't think of Beetlejuice.
Very
That's
true.
just the first thing you think
Yeah.
of. That's like thinking of Don't Stop Me Now and not thinking of Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
It's just
There's lots of
insanely
things
tied
I think
to
of
it.
with Don't Stop Me Now, though.
Really? Like what?
Umbrella Academy. There's a few others. I don't remember exactly what.
I haven't finished.
It's
them.
like how Mr. Blue Sky is in so many different movies.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
My
too,
favorite
yeah.
being Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
Megamind.
Is it in
It
Megamind?
is.
Yeah.
Megamind has some songs that I definitely associate with
Yeah.
it as well.
We could talk about the set design. The set design's really cool.
Oh, the set design.
Especially, I love
Um,
the way that they did the model of the house.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Oh man, and the way they had the fake grass.
Yeah,
too,
and the fake dirt and the
like,
cardboard.
Yeah.
All of my
That's
favorite
great.
scenes in the movie, other than the World of the Dead, take place in the model,
Yeah.
which is funny. When the random scene where he offers the fly the Zagnut bar made me laugh. It's just funny.
Yeah.
And when he kicks over the tree, and nice model. Michael Keaton was just having the time of his life, and the sound design really good because they added some cartoony sound effects where you wouldn't expect them, and it was great. I don't really have anything else. Do you guys have anything else?
No.
This is going to be our shortest
Not
discussion of a
really.
movie because the consensus is it's good.
It's really good.
Good.
It did make me want to watch more of Tim Burton stuff because I think Yeah, because I know his work has inspired so many different stuff, and I know he wasn't the director of Nightmare Before Christmas, but then again, lots of people
it's very
it is
him.
very him, and that's obvious that he was the producer and stuff. And then he didn't do these, but like Monster House, Paranorman,
lots of things
all that
inspired
type of different stuff is very inspired by his stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did Sweeney Todd, the film version of Sweeney Todd, which is one of the better, if not the one of the top musical
Movies.
Musical to movie adaptations. Yeah. Frankenweenie's good. Dumbo is awful.
Yeah.
His Batman movies are fine, but yeah, definitely the most unique filmmaker.
One of
working
them.
20 years ago. Not anymore today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't say anymore. I don't think he's made anything that feels unique in like decades.
Was the last movie he did Dumbo?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's Dumbo, and then his next thing is the Addams Family adaptation. I enjoyed the casting choices. Everyone looks like their character, and I think
they really do.
It looks fun. Like, I've seen some people complaining about the dad, but
that's what he looks like.
He looks perfect. He looks exactly like he does in like the comics or whatever.
Of course, I don't think anyone will ever beat his original, not his original actor, but his one from the 80s film. I don't think anyone will beat him. Or the lady who played Morticia in that one.
Yeah.
I think no one will beat that cast. But this one's really good as well.
But yeah, I really don't have much else to say. I
think that caps
comedy
off...
movies like this, there's not much to talk about. But granted, some movies we watch and we talk about for hours on end. But yeah.
I think that caps off our weekly discussion. And now for the next week.
So now, McKenna, you get to pick the next week's movie.
I'm having a hard time because I want you guys to watch one movie.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's a sequel to another movie.
I will watch
and
both.
I'm debating.
Is it Spider-Man 2?
No.
Oh.
However, are you guys willing to watch both? I mean, they are shorter. It's like an hour and a half.
We have 2 weeks
for each.
From when we're recording this, we have 2 weeks.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one is Superman.
Okay.
Director Richard Donner.
All right.
Christopher Reeve
Uh-huh.
as
Yes.
Superman.
I almost watched that movie on my own this week,
yeah.
actually.
Really?
I thought about it because I've been really into Superman lately, and I almost watched...
Same here.
Well, this is a great choice. And then I really want you guys to watch Superman 2.
I will watch them both, yes.
So, get excited, people, for Superman Uno de Dos. Mostly 2, because I believe that's the one you want us to watch. I believe last episode, I didn't realize it until about 5 minutes later, but I didn't end the episode with my line or a line from the movie. So I guess, since this is the end of the episode, I should be saying that. But do you guys have anything you want to say before we end off this old little shindig?
I think we have one thing to say just to cap it off. That being...
Yeah.
Wait, no. Be
3, 2, 1.
excellent to each
Kaden.
other. And
Kaden.
play on, dudes.
Kaden!
Alright, great job, everyone. We got rid of the monster.